Good morning, everybody. It is Thursday morning, not so bright and early. It's almost 10 o'clock. I was working at home a bit this morning and now heading into the office with the beans, and Frankie's walking down the back seat somewhere, but she's in her normal spot. I promised y'all the other day I would talk about the best movie I've seen in a long time. If you know me at all, you know that I really don't watch movies. I watch television. I love TV shows. I love documentaries. I know. And I really like shows like, King of Queens, Frasier, something where you can really get into the characters for a long time. You make this investment in these characters. I don't want to just know them for an hour and a half, 2 hours of a movie, and then got all invested, and now they're gone. So I'm not a big movie person. But I made an exception. We moved into the house. Our cable wasn't really working yet, so I was just using Netflix for some different things, and I came across this movie called I Feel Pretty. The name of the movie is I Feel Pretty with Amy Schumer. And I was shocked to see it had like 1.5 stars on Rotten Tomatoes. Those are some Rotten Tomatoes. So I don't know what they're thinking with that. But I Feel Pretty is an incredibly meaningful movie, I felt like. Because it wasn't just entertainment. But the message of this movie is so great. These days, if you watch a trailer, they pretty much tell you the basic plot line of the story anyway. So if you're really dying to see this and don't like spoiler alerts, there may be some amount of spoiler alert in this, but I'll try not to do too much. The basic gist of the movie is very simple. This woman always wanted to be beautiful. She wanted to be pretty, and she admired her friends who were, and longed to have the kind of life that, with the doors that beauty would open for her. So she was always wishing this. She ends up having a type of accident where her wish comes true. But what happens is the great twist of the story, instead of actually becoming beautiful, she simply thinks that she's beautiful. She sees herself as being beautiful. And when she comes out of this, she's looking at herself in the mirror, and she's just going, can't believe this. She starts running down, she'd been at a workout. She goes running down the street, jumping and kicking and just cheering. And she walks up to all of her friends. She's like, I know you don't recognize me, but trust me, this is me. She starts telling stories about something only I would know. And they're looking at her like, have you lost your mind? So as you can imagine, the plot, goes along throughout. And as you can imagine, the most obvious thing is going to happen, which is once she believes she is pretty, it starts to change her reality. Because the way she acts, the confidence she shows, begins to affect the way people treat her, which I think is just a great, it's a great plot for a movie. It's a great plot for life. Because the truth is, it works. The truth is based on, we always say perception is reality. Yeah, so perception becomes truth. If you feel pretty, you are. Everything's subjective. Who's to say, right? So the fun thing is she ends up going on a date with this guy, and they end up in a place where they're at some kind of a club, and they're having like a bikini contest of sorts. And he's going, come on, we'll just go to another place. We don't need to go in here. And she goes, no, let's go. And she hops up, and she, of course, doesn't have the bathing suit, but she starts tying up her shirt, rolling up her shorts. And Amy Schumer is the leading lady in this film, and she's a perfectly normal sized woman, but she's not the kind of woman who normally, on TV shows at least, wears bikinis and goes around dancing around at a bikini contest. But she gets up there and she starts dancing and strutting, and at first the whole club is looking at her like, who's this poor woman? And she is so confident, and she is selling it so well that she believes in her beauty and her inner beauty. She just feels it, and she's glowing. By the end, everyone's on their feet, and they're cheering for her and thinking she's just incredible. So, towards the end, obviously, this thing can't last forever, and it really gets to her when she realizes the spell is over and she sees herself the old way. But the fun part of the movie comes at the end when she's really moved up in this company because of her confidence she's got now. So she's seeing some before and afters, some pictures of her in her previous life or current life, and some pictures back when she was thinking she was all that, right? And the look on her face when she looks up there and just is realizing they look the same. I am the same. The difference is in what you exude. So I think it's a fabulous lesson. And people, I tell you what, there is nothing sadder to me, and I see it and I run across it every day, than a thin, beautiful woman who is completely insecure and has no self-confidence. I see it all the time. Then I'll see some who aren't quite as standardized perfect, who exude warmth, confidence, just a joie de vivre that makes people want to be around them. People don't know why they think they're just beautiful and amazing, but they do. And they walk with their head held high, not in a haughty way, but in a kind way, but that knows their own self-worth. And when you know your own self-worth, then you're not afraid to build up others. Because the ones who cut people down and need to put them down are the ones who don't have the security. They think the only way I can be more is for you to be less. And that is not true. That's the devil talking right there. So just please remember, the most important thing you can do to change your appearance, your life, your outlook, and most importantly in this talk, your magnetism with other people is how you feel about yourself. If you feel confident, if you feel beautiful, if you feel healthy, you will exude that and people will respond. So just thought I'd share that. I want to see if any of you guys had any thoughts on the movie. My daughter Celie told me that it's also, she goes, yeah, I don't think some people my age watch it because of cancel culture. I said, cancel culture? I didn't know what that was. She said cancel culture is among the young people where they'll say if someone says something somewhere that they didn't like or they found not politically correct, if they didn't like what was said, then they will cancel them from everything. They will basically cut them out from watching their movies or anything else. So that's something you're interested in, check out cancel culture. But we don't do that around here. We take each piece as it is. So see you guys tomorrow.